Welcome to Extreme Earth Docs. On a world map, Indonesia stretches like a colossal island empire spanning over 17,000 islands with a population of 288 million people. Yet, hidden behind these borders lies one of the most extreme geographical contradictions on the planet. More than half of the entire nation, over 150 million people, is crammed onto the island of Java, a landmass smaller than the state of New York, but look to the far east at a territory 3 times the size of Java, nearly as vast as all of California, West Papua. Less than 2% of the country lives there. How can 2 territories sitting inside the exact same country be so radically different? How did a landmass this massive remain virtually untouched and unsettled for thousands of years? To uncover the truth, we have to journey into one of the most hostile geographies on Earth. To decode this mystery, you first have to realize that geologically, West Papua was never part of Asia at all. During the last glacial maximum, when global sea levels were hundreds of feet lower, Sumatra, Java, and Borneo formed a continuous land bridge directly connected to mainland Asia. Megafauna, plants, and early human migrations walked straight across dry land. Travel just slightly east, however, and the ocean floor plunges into a sheer abyss, the Wallace Line. Step across this invisible barrier, and Asia abruptly ends. Australia begins. This is why you will never find tigers, leopards, or monkeys in the dense jungles of West Papua. Instead, you encounter tree kangaroos, flightless cassowaries, and prehistoric marsupials. But the most defining difference isn't the wildlife, it's the ground beneath your feet. Java can sustain 150 million people today because of a single geological cheat code: andesol, nutrient-dense volcanic soil. Active volcanoes constantly shower the island with mineral-rich ash, turning Java into one of the most efficient natural food factories on the planet. West Papua, on the other hand, sits on the ancient weathered Australian continental plate. Its soil is severely depleted of essential minerals. Even if you clear-cut the dense rainforest canopy, you aren't left with fertile farmland. You are left with acidic, barren dirt that exhausts itself within just a few seasons. What makes this even more fascinating is that the indigenous people of New Guinea actually independently invented agriculture around the same time as ancient Mesopotamia, cultivating bananas and taro root, completely isolated from the outside world. Yet, the soil could never yield enough surplus calories to sustain large-scale empires. While Java and Sumatra dominated the Malacca Strait, becoming wealthy epicenters of global maritime trade between China, India, and the Middle East, West Papua remained utterly cut off from global commerce for millennia. Even if you manage to bypass the infertile soil to build a modern civilization, you would slam directly into the second barrier, one of the most unforgiving topographies on Earth. Cutting horizontally across the island is the Maoki mountain range, the highest mountain chain on any oceanic island, crowned by the jagged, snow-capped peak of Puncak Jaya at nearly 16,000 feet. This is not an ordinary mountain ridge, it is a vertical labyrinth of razor-sharp limestone canyons, razorback ridges, and impenetrable jungle gorges. It is so isolated that indigenous tribes living barely 6 miles apart developed hundreds of distinct languages, living for generations completely unaware of each other's existence. Could you simply bypass the peaks and settle the coastline? That brings you face to face with New Guinea's ultimate natural defense, the Asmat region. The southern shoreline has zero natural harbors and no sandy beaches. Instead, it is locked behind the largest continuous mangrove swamp system in the world, a tidal wasteland where shifting mudbanks rise and fall by meters every single day. Pouring concrete, driving deep foundations, or constructing functional deep-water ports is nearly impossible. In 1969, Indonesia officially incorporated West Papua within its borders, securing a territory the size of California overnight. The government immediately launched the Transmigration Initiative, loading millions of farmers onto ships from overpopulated Java and relocating them directly into the jungle to establish new cities. The result was an outright disaster. You cannot out-legislate basic geology. Farmers accustomed to Java's hyper-fertile volcanic fields couldn't grow sustainable crops in Papua's depleted soil. Worse, the forced demographic shift ignited intense resource conflicts that continue to destabilize the region today. Today, the few modern highways and high-altitude runways carved into West Papua weren't built to foster thriving urban communities. They exist for one primary objective: extracting immense wealth from the Grasberg mine, one of the largest single reserves of gold and copper anywhere on the planet. Ultimately, this landscape reveals a hard truth. Claiming a territory on a map is entirely different from the land actually accepting your presence. No matter how advanced human technology becomes, the sheer force of geography remains unmatched. Do you think advanced technology will ever transform this extreme wilderness into a booming metropolis, or will geography always win? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy deep dives into the planet's most extreme and isolated territories, hit that like button, subscribe to Extreme Earth Docs, and turn on notifications so you never miss an expedition. See you in the next analysis.